Hello everyone, I thought I'd come on today and show you how to make this card that I featured on my blog. A lot of people asked how I did it. It features just one stamp and a sentiment and one ink pad. A couple of other little bits and pieces. So I'll go and get on and show you how to do it. You will find all of the measurements that you need over on my blog, which is cotswoldcrafter.blogspot.co.uk. I upload cards every day, and then on a Monday we have a challenge every week, and everyone that takes part gets their cards featured on Sundays. So on every Sunday there's loads of inspiration. Everyone has such a different take on the same challenge. So it's always worth looking in. Now I actually think I'm going to turn that light back out because it's going to make a... I hope you can see properly. Anyway, it's quite a bright sunshiny day, unlike on my card here. Let's get on and show you how to make it. What you'll need is, I used the tree from the new Winter Woods, which is in the autumn, winter or the Christmas catalogue. I'll leave all the links for where to buy it and stuff below. You could also use the little tree from Lovely as a Tree. I think that would work as well. But it's not quite as bushy, and I don't know whether you can see, but this tree is sort of more detailed, more fluffy. And you can stamp it over and over again over the top, and it doesn't, you don't need to mask it or anything. So we start off with a piece of card that's 3 3/4 by 5 1/8 of an inch, and we're going to mat that onto a 3 7/8 by 5 1/4 mat, and then onto a 4 1/8 by 5 1/2 Night of Navy card base. So I'll leave all those details over on my Cotswold Crafter blog. I do recommend, I did do one of each to show you that it is worth adding that little mat of white, because it really does make the image pop. Without it, you just kind of lose the edges, but that just looks so much more finished off, I think. So on we go. What you'll need is, you'll need an ink pad, some kind of brush or a brayer, or however you want to lay down your ink. I'm just going to use an ink duster. Water spritzer. I've cut out a little mask using a layer and circle die, and let's get on and show you. Right, you're going to have to build up a really good amount of ink at the top of your card, because that's going to be our night sky. So you want to just lay that on really thick. Don't brush into your mask, because you'll lift it. So it's better to brush, like start on it and brush out, and then go out this way. It doesn't matter to your blending, really. Not with these brushes anyway. And we are going to go across the moon with a little bit of ink afterwards anyway, because I think the pure white just looks too stark. And I quite like that look where it's like you've got a cloud drifting across the moon. So that's what we'll go for. Whether that's what we'll get is a different matter. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's just having fun and playing. And that's exactly how I come up with this card. I was just playing about and seeing what I could do with just one ink pad. So if you've got really limited supplies, you could just get yourself one stamp set, one ink pad, and you can make quite effective Christmas cards, I think. And I've made one or two other cards with just that stamp set with its matching dies, without too many other ingredients. It's quite a decent stamp set to get. Having the matching dies makes it a lot more versatile. Right, so that's got that quite well blended, I think. And then we're just going to blend it out at the bottom. I just want it much lighter because we're going to stamp over that anyway, but we don't want it to be pure white behind because it's supposed to be night time. Right, let's have a bit of a clean up. Right, now what we're going to do is wipe that over. We're going to spritz some water over our, now you've got to be quite a distance away and just do a fine mist a couple of times. You don't want that big blob like I've just done, but I can hide that up with the tree. It kind of gives just like a mottled effect that looks like you know when it's snowy and you look into the sky and it looks quite it kind of dazzles you. Well, it's kind of that look that we're going for. If I close up, you can see it just looks kind of like mottled, where we've blotted some of that ink out. Right, now we'll remove our little mask. Put it over there. And then I'm going to go back in with my brush and just soften the edges of that moon. And we're going to stamp our sentiment in there. Right. I'm just going to give that a quick dry before we go on to the next layer of stamping. Do it on the back, it usually stops it from curling, but that won't matter when it's stuck down on the card. Right, now we need our stamp. So, good thing about these lovely big ink pads is you can fit a whole big stamp on them. Now, you do want to make sure this one is stamped up sort of like quite evenly, because if you've got lines it will show. Right, so you want one quite high up. One going into the moon. One in the middle. And then do second generation ink, so don't re-ink your stamp, and then just go in between. It just gives the look of like trees into the distance, because the lighter they are, the further away they'll look. And you can just go over them at the bottom. It doesn't matter. Like I say, you don't have to mask it. It's it just looks like a piney forest. And I'll do another one over at this edge because that looks quite light, and one more over here. There we go. I might do a little bit more down there. So there we go. That's our pine trees. Let me just wipe my desk desk off. Now, I'm going to stamp our sentiment using the Stamparatus so we know that we get it all lined up and it's all straight. And oops, I just dropped it on the floor. Let's get that bit off there. Right, let's see where we want to have it. Way over. You might see shadows in a minute because my son is cleaning my windows. I hope he's not going to expect paying because we've got a lot of windows. Actually, I haven't seen a window cleaner out where we live. Now, this is the beauty of the Stamparatus. You can just keep going until you've got a really dark sentiment. Keep adding layers so that your sentiment really stands out. Right. I'll just stick a bit of scrap card in there until I've got time to clean that in a minute. Now then, that all looks quite Christmassy, but I think it just needs a little bit more snow. I'm just going to quickly dry off where I've done my inking. Right, now you can either use your Whisper White ink and might need a little bit more water, and a water brush, and hold it really far up and just tap, and you'll get little snowfall all over your card. Like that. And all over your desk and everywhere else. But that's the good thing with these white clean mats. Right, let's just clean that up a bit. But for me, that's not quite, I haven't got any sparkle, and I do like a bit of sparkle. So I'm going to see if my fine tip glue pen is still working, but I don't think it is. No. I would use my fine tip glue pen because it's got a really fine tip on it, but I think it's dried up. So I'm going to go in with my quickie glue pen. Make sure I've got some ink coming out. Glue, not ink. And then just do loads of dots. You can dot on where you've already dotted with the white ink, or you can just go crazy. It is Christmas after all. You can never have enough glitter at Christmas. It's very noisy though. Right. Bring in your paint on that as well, look. Bring in your dazzling diamonds, super sized, and then sprinkle it on. Like that. I've got some quite Right, I don't know if you'll be able to see the sparkle, but it's quite sparkly. You see it just sparkling there. Oh, you can never get the light right to show it, but it is sparkling. Or dazzling, should I say. Put that away before I end up with it on the floor. And then all we're going to do is put some tape onto our card. Excuse me, lean over. Our card base, and then mount up our card. And I would, for my insert, see, you only need 1/8 of an inch border, white border, because you just want that little hint of white. There you go. This is today's card. Trying to get the sparkle for you, but you can see the depth of the trees. And that's how easy it was. So if you'd like the sizes and everything, just go onto my blog, which is cotswoldcrafter.blogspot.co.uk. I will leave the links below, as always, to that, to the Stampin' Up shop, and I look forward to seeing you very soon with another video. Goodbye for now, and enjoy your rest of your day. Bye bye for now.